Commissioner, back again, and today we are going to be doing a deep dive on, I think we're going to do the top 40 ranked running backs, according to FantasyPros at least. I thought about making my own rankings for this video. I have not made my own rankings yet for this season. I still won't be drafting for another 3 weeks or so. So I've got some time. But I wanted to record this and get this out to you guys because I think on my last video someone had mentioned that they would be interested in that. So that's what we're going to do today. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. So first overall running back, we're going to talk about Jahmyr Gibbs. I do agree he is RB1 this year. I think it's close between him and Bijan. I lean Gibbs because it's a better offense all around. Detroit is projected to score, I want to say, top 3 or 4 points in the league. They have I think one of the highest implied totals. I think top 3 or 4. I want to say Atlanta is halfway down, about league average. Anyways, but departure of Dave Montgomery, Dan Campbell has big plans for Gibbs. I think I saw, it wasn't a report, but someone had asked Dan Campbell after practice the other day about Gibbs, and he said that, he thinks Gibbs has a lot more to show, and that they're going to push him to do so this year. Just got paid. So I think this could possibly be the best year of Jahmyr Gibbs' career before he starts to get too old, So anyways, yeah, I think he's the one overall and my RB1. So let's move on to Bijan. Bijan Robinson, I agree, is RB2 with the Falcons bringing in Kevin Stefanski, who loves to run the football, a lot of play action stuff. We've seen how Greenmont was used in Cleveland, and Greenmont is not half the running back or talent that Bijan is. I think Bijan is in for a huge workload this year. No more Tyler Algier. A lot of still uncertainty at the quarterback position with Tua and Penix battling that out. And Stefanski first year in Atlanta. Bijan just got paid. Again, it just spells out, kind of like Jahmyr Gibbs, spells out a potential career year. And, I think these two guys are smash picks. So yeah. We'll move on to number 3, Christian McCaffrey. He is the running back of my favorite team, the 49ers. As you should, have concerns with his health. But I am not a fan, and I've said this before on the channel, I'm not a fan of avoiding drafting guys because of injury concern. Everyone gets hurt. Everyone can get hurt. It's not if a guy can win you your league near single-handedly, I think it's worth the pick every time. Obviously, it's riskier, and I think that risk is baked in. I think he sat out practice yesterday, but Kyle Shanahan is going to give C-Mac the ball. He might not get, what was it, like 430 or 450 total touches, like he did last year. But you can rest assured he's going to be near that number, over 375 at minimum. I think, we all know the talent. The only thing that is a ding on C-Mac is his durability, and if he can stay healthy. So yeah, I think he is my number 3 as well. Okay, JT at 4. I believe in talent. Obviously, Jonathan Taylor is one of the best pure rushers in the NFL. One of the best pure rushers of the last decade. Maybe since the beginning of the 21st century. What's not to love? He's 6 feet tall, 225 pounds, ran a 4.3 at the combine. He's great. I know he's like staging like a hold-in right now, or you know what, he might have just gotten paid. I think he did. I think he did just get an extension, like 2 years or something. So he just got paid. The Colts are going to run him into the ground. My only concern is the quarterback situation in Indy and the offense as a whole. I don't know if they've had any turnover on their offensive line this offseason. I'll have to look into that. But obviously last year when Daniel Jones went down, JT kind of fell off a cliff. And, it was nothing that he was doing wrong. It was just defenses knew where the ball was going to go. So, again, expect in the realm of 300 carries or more, 350 carries. Especially if, quarterback play continues to be a concern into going throughout the year. Still has such an upside. He's going to get the ball. He's going to get the ball at the goal line. Surefire locked in. Okay, James Cook, number 5. Again, I'm on par with this ranking. Locked in volume. Again, my only concern with James Cook is touchdown regression. And I kind of obviously didn't touch on it here last year because I just started the channel. But I touched on this with my friends last year and my concerns with James Cook. I was right about the touchdown regression, but he did lead the league in rushing. So I was kind of half right, half wrong. Do I think he leads the league in rushing again? I wouldn't bet on it. That's tough. Honestly, I don't know the last time we saw someone lead the league in rushing back-to-back years. But either way, I digress. He's gonna get the ball. He's gonna get the ball at the goal line. It's either him or Josh Allen that's gonna be scoring goal line touchdowns. So yeah, he's my number 5 as well. Now, this is where I get a little off consensus, I think. Look, Ashton Genty as a prospect, and he is extremely talented. I pulled off a big dynasty trade last year to move up to 1 overall to get him. I would prefer not to pay this price tag for him. I don't think the Raiders are going to be good on offense. Yes, Glenn Kubiak came over. But I think the person that's going to benefit most from that is going to be Brock Bowers. I don't think it's going to be Ashton Genty necessarily. They brought in Tyler Linderbaum. The offensive line is still not good. I'm pretty sure Ashton Genty had the worst yards before contact in the league last year. How can you expect him to do anything if he's getting hit 2-3 yards in the backfield? It just doesn't spell success for me. Obviously he's going to get the ball, but he needs to be efficient. And that's the tough part. Obviously they have 5 upside here, but obviously his upside is correct here. I don't agree with this. I think it should probably be a 4. He plays the Broncos twice a year. He plays Kansas City twice a year. He plays the Chargers twice a year. There's 6 games a year against good defenses. And I don't know. I personally don't have him at 6. I probably have him, probably in this tier 3, but we'll get to that here in a minute. Next, Chase Brown. Okay, Chase Brown, I do have it over Ashton Genty, I think, now. And yes, I might sound contradicting in, you just said Ashton Genty has a bad O-line, blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, the Raiders don't have Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow, T. Higgins, Andre Yoshivas, who isn't like some all-pro or anything, but still, Mike Gesicki, I think, is a tight end. There's no Brock Bowers. But Bengals O-line, I think every single one of them is returning this year. And they will be, at least a complete returning unit. Familiarity with the offense. Chase Brown has zero touch competition behind him. He will probably catch 80% of passes thrown to the running back. He is the goal line back. I mean, last year when Joe Burrow came back, he exploded. He was transcendent. I mean, he was amazing. And I think I wouldn't take him in the first round unless I had the 12th pick, 12, 13, the 1-2 turn. But if you're like in a standard league or something, and you think you're gonna have to reach up for a running back, it would be hard for me to take any one of these 6 through 12 over Chase Brown. So I'm really, really big on him now, I think, this year. High-powered offense. I think he has potential to score a lot of points. Next, Saquon Barkley. Oh, man. I'm very conflicted. I still think he has a ton of juice left in the tank. I'm optimistic. The O-line is coming back. new offensive coordinator. No more Kevin Patullo, thank God. It seems like they're going to want to run the ball a lot more this year, with Jalen Hurts too. And really, that's really the only knock on Saquon I can think of is, goal line work, because you're going to have the dish push still around. But they're going to throw the ball less. I think also my other concern is how involved will Tank Bigsby be in the offense. I've seen quite a few camp reports that Tank is going to be more involved in the offense, that they want to limit Saquon's number of carries and keep him fresh. I guess we'll see just how committed they are if the Eagles are struggling record-wise, and if they need to make a playoff push. And, because how do you take a guy like Saquon off the field? So, I think we'll kind of be, we're kind of in between where what I think he'll produce is kind of going to be in between last season and 2 years ago, but probably closer to last season. He might rush for like 1,200 yards and 8 touchdowns, and that's really good. So I think I have Saquon about the same spot, 8 year. Okay, moving on. Devon Achane. I agree with this. Hot, extremely high upside, extremely high bust potential. Terrible offense. Malik Willis came to town. Running quarterbacks tend to not dump the ball off as much or throw to the running backs as much as a pocket passer or not as mobile quarterback. I have no idea. Excuse me. I have no idea who this new OC is. There's just so much uncertainty. I think it could be, Achane could be an extremely, obviously, extremely massive gamble. Either he's going to put up 20, 25 plus points per game like he has been doing, or, he could put up 6 points 1 week and 30 the next. So if you're shooting for high ceiling, low floor, Achane might be your pick. I think, rankings-wise, I think this is kind of how I have it. But I would prefer to not have to take him until maybe the middle of the second or late second. So yeah. Number 10, Omarion Hampton. I think I have Hampton here as well. You could maybe flip-flop these two guys, just because I think Hampton has a slightly lower ceiling, but a much safer floor. Another big body guy. He's gonna be the goal line back. Mike McDaniel coming to town. Loves to run the football. I think Omarion Hampton could get 250 carries. My only concern is Keaton Mitchell. And, of course, can Omarion Hampton stay healthy? He missed most of the year last year, but, as a rookie, first year, getting hurt, I don't want to slap an injury-prone label on a guy. Like I said earlier, everyone can get hurt. Everyone gets hurt. Part of playing a physical, violent game. I think he's locked in for a solid workload, and he's locked in as the goal line back on a team that is going to want to run the football. So I think he's pretty comfortably, a top pick, and I'm comfortable with him being my his new OC. How exactly are they going to use him? He's basically going to be a nothing burger in the receiving game. But, I think he's locked in for 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns at minimum. And if you can get that in the late second, early third round, sign me up all day. Especially if you can pair him with like a Jamar and like a Hampton or an Achan. Yeah, if you could start Jamar, Achan, and Derrick Henry, or Jamar, Hampton, and Derrick Henry, good lord. Next, Kenneth Walker. Okay. I believe in K9's talent. Don't get me wrong. But, man, the soft tissue injuries, it's just, it feels like he's always just going to miss like 3 or 4 games with a hamstring or something along those lines. I will say he is locked in for a monster workload. He's going to be the goal line back. Just my only concern is, can he stay healthy? And that's really it. I mean, he's an Andy Reid running back that they paid handsomely to come to Kansas City. So, obviously, he has really high upside. But yeah, it's just going to be a question of health. He's going to catch passes. If he's healthy, he'll be good. So yeah. Okay, up next, Kyren Williams. Man, oh man. Unfortunately, I'm a Kyren Williams hater. And I don't agree with his draft cost, but I agree with where he's ranked here. Sean McVay loves this little bastard for whatever reason. I have no clue. He is one of the most uncreative runners I've ever seen. I think I could compare him to like Chargers Austin Eckler or Jamal Williams when he was on the Lions, and his fat ass fell into the end zone like 16 times that year or something. And I don't really know what to think about the Blake Corum split, because we hear it every single year. Oh, Blake Corum's going to get a bigger workload. Oh, the bigger share of the carries. Well, we barely just saw that for the first time last year. Do I think it's going to be a 50-50 split? Absolutely not. But still, I mean, even if Kyren is only getting like 70% of the carries, that's not ideal. And, there are other guys ranked lower than him that are going to be getting 85% of the carries, and that's what I want. And, I don't even know if Kyren's goal line work will continue. I mean, how do we know that Blake Corum isn't going to step in and take some goal line snaps from Kyren? It's just something to keep in mind, something to think about. So yeah, I mean, that's basically my concern is, how involved is Blake Corum going to be? If Kyren can, keep Corum at the workload that he's maintained over the last couple of years, great. If not, ouch. Okay, up next, Jeremiah Love. Good Lord Almighty. I do not understand this pick at all, or this ranking at all. If you want to rank him off of talent, there, okay, cool. But this is not a talent show. encouraging at all. Who wants to hear that about a team's, third overall pick, rookie running back? I mean, it's difficult to project. Tyler Algier is there, James Conner's there. They love James Conner still for whatever reason. I don't know what the plan is there. If Jeremiah Love is not getting at minimum 60% of the carries, this is a waste of a pick. Unless all 60% of those carries are at the goal line, this is such a waste of a pick. It makes no sense to me whatsoever. Jeremiah Love is a full 1,000% fade for me this year. I'm just, no thank you. I want no part of it. Up next, Josh Jacobs. Okay. I love Josh Jacobs. I love him as a talent. His role is 1,000% locked in. He's the goal line back. He's going to get over 200 carries this year, maybe even 250. Again, just like some of these other guys, only concern, can he stay healthy? He's been dealing with this lingering knee thing. And I think right now, a groin injury. I think this is going to be probably the last year or second to last year before he fully falls off. He's probably got 3,000? No. Yeah, he's probably got 2,000 career carries so far. You know what? Let's see. Wow. Oh my God. Yeah. Okay, probably 2,500 career carries now. That's a big toll on a guy's body. Yeah, drop in efficiency. So basically, Josh Jacobs is the boring, safe pick that is going to get the ball. And I think this is about right where he's at. Yeah. Up next, Breece Hall. I love Breece Hall. I love him as a talent. I love his game. I love Breece Hall. I hate his choice to stay in New York. And I hate the fact that he plays for the New York Jets. Aaron Glenn scares me. I don't know how they plan to use Breece Hall. In my opinion, he should be getting 80% of the carries. He should be catching 90% of the balls out of the backfield. I think Breece Hall is a talent that is being wasted by the New York Jets, just like many other talents have been wasted. I'm not really sure how to project him. The Jets aren't going to score a lot of points. It could be rough. It could be rough. Personally, I will say I'm going to be fading Breece Hall this year. Mainly just because he's on the Jets, man. I can't do it. I cannot tie my success in fantasy to one of the worst teams in football. I just can't do it. That being said, I'm going to have to fade him this year. Yeah, it is what it is. Up next, Javonte Williams. Okay. I severely disagree with this ranking. Javonte, I would put him between Kyron and Kenneth Walker. Now let me explain. Javonte Williams is Chase Brown. CeeDee and George Pickens are arguably a better duo than Jamar and T. The Cowboys have a better tight end. They have an all-around better passing attack than Cincy. Dallas is going to score a lot of points. Even if their defense sucks, even better. They're going to be in shootouts. They're going to have to score points. Awesome. If you can get a guy that's going to be on one of the highest scoring offenses in the NFL this late, I'm talking late third, early fourth, sign me up all day long. I love Javonte this year. He has no competition for touches. He's going to be the goal line back. He's the workhorse. I think this is a smash pick. I will be looking to draft him in every single one of my leagues this year. Unfortunately, I won't be able to in one of them because he will be a keeper pick for someone. But yeah, man, Javonte is probably my 12th running back overall. Hell, I okay, that might be crazy. I was gonna say maybe even up here, but at least, at the top of tier 3. I think he's just in such a great situation, in such a locked-in role. I don't see how this pick could fail. So yeah. Up next, Travis Etienne. I never understood how people thought Alvin Kamara was just gonna go away. Yes, they brought in Etienne on this pretty decent-sized contract, but I wasn't ready to just dive in on Etienne right away, just because they signed him. I was waiting until they cut Kamara or traded him or something. They had one of the worst run blocking lines in the league last year, and everyone kept saying, "Oh, Kamara's just bad. He's old. He's terrible." Okay, well, he may not be as good as he was, and he is older, but to paint this picture that it was just all on Alvin Kamara, who was never a pure rusher to begin with, was just bad on his own and no other outlying factors. It's just nonsense. So, I believe in Etienne's talent. My concerns are basically Kamara's involvement in the passing game and being a third down back. Etienne's probably going to be the goal line back. But also, I think the Saints just had their starting left tackle blow out his knee, so that's not ideal. I might ding him down a little bit just because of the situation. But again, if you want to start, with some high-powered wide receivers and pick up Etienne in the early to mid-4th, I don't hate it. But you just gotta understand, it's possible he's not gonna get the lion's share of work. Why? He'll get the majority of the work, but that could look like 60%. So just something to keep in mind. Up next, Cam Scatterbo. I'm becoming more open to the idea of drafting Scatterbo. He's probably the only person I really would want a piece of from the Giants offense. Matt Nagy is an absolute terrorist. So my belief in the offense as a whole is limited. But this dude is literally psychotic, and he's gonna have CTE by the time he's 28. If he even manages to play till he's 28. I think he's a massive dumbass. But he's gonna get the ball. They're gonna throw to him. He could rack up a lot of points. Again, only concern, health. If he stays healthy, he'll be a workhorse. And he could win you some leagues. I think this is another, if he stays healthy, another safe pick. But definitely some baked-in risk because of injury and situation. So, be that as it may. He's going to get the ball on the goal line. He's going to catch passes. He's going to get majority of the carries. So, yeah. Up next, Bucky Irving. Man, I really like Bucky as a rookie coming in the league. He reminds me so much of LaShawn McCoy. Just his shiftiness, his movement, his running style. I love Bucky as a player and as an athlete. I have multiple concerns. Firstly, his shoulder. He missed. Wow, okay. So he missed. Okay, I did not even know he came back last year. Huh. Okay, well that's news to me. So, like I was gonna say, my concern is his shoulder. He had all off-season to heal and get right, and for whatever reason, he was still dealing with some shoulder, nonsense going into camp. He's a little guy. He's not a big dude. So that scares me. Like, how many hits can he take before that shoulder gives up, and he's running back. He's gonna get hit. He can't run out of bounds every play. So it's something that I'm taking into consideration. And, I don't even think that's my biggest concern. I think my biggest concern is Kenneth Gainwell. Tampa Bay really likes Kenneth Gainwell. I don't like Kenneth Gainwell. I think he is such a gimmick of a running back. He's basically a slot receiver. But I digress. I'm not focused on Kenneth Gainwell as a player. I do think he's going to steal quite a bit of work from Bucky. And I'm just not interested in having a guy that's part of a massive timeshare with an injury concern. So, unless he just absolutely free falls to like the 6th or 7th round, I'm not gonna waste my time on picking him up. There are much better options behind him in the rankings. So, yeah. Up next, DeAndre Swift. Going back to the Lions days, I was huge on DeAndre Swift coming out of college. Loved him as a talent. For whatever reason, Ben Johnson absolutely hated his stinking guts in Detroit. Maybe that was a maturity thing. I don't know. But for whatever reason, it seems like they've reconciled their differences. And now it seems like Ben Johnson just absolutely loves DeAndre Swift. And I think Ben Johnson is getting ready to give DeAndre Swift, like, his biggest workload of his career, which is surprising because Monangai was pretty freaking decent last year. I even used him as a flex play some weeks, even when Swift was playing, because he just had good standalone value. But, DeAndre Swift is locked in for a really good workload. He's going to catch the ball, going to get, 12 to 16 carries a game. It seems like him and Monangai kind of alternate as the goal line backs. Swift is not a huge guy, but he can definitely run with some pop behind his pads. I like him here. I like him in this range. I have him over Bucky. I would move Bucky probably down here, just for visual sake. But yeah, I like Swift here. I would take him in the 5th or 6th if it came down to it. If I needed a running back, I would feel confident in making that pick. Up next, Quinshon Judkins. I love Quinshon Judkins. I'm actually using a keeper pick on him this year. Only concerns are the offense as a whole. He's an awesome running back. He can catch passes. He can run through your face. He can outrun you. He can get real shifty and get around you. I'm not concerned about the ankle at all. Freak injury. I don't think he had any ligament damage. I think it was just his bone. He's looked amazing at camp. There's nobody really behind him to compete for carries, at least. Receptions, sure. Dylan Sampson, but Quinshon Judkins is going to be the workhorse back. And Todd Monken, new OC, coming to town. He was Derrick Henry's OC the last 2 or 3 years, I think. So, maybe we see Derrick Henry usage, which would be awesome. And just give Quinshon the rock 20 times a game. That'd be fucking fantastic. So yeah, I'm in on Quinshon this year. And funnily enough, I just see a notification that Deshaun will start preseason week 1. So maybe he's a starter. Anyways, yeah, solid pick. 5th, 6th round. Love it. David Montgomery. I think David Montgomery is the most mispriced, other than Javonte. I think he's the most mispriced running back in fantasy this year. I think Montgomery should be in this tier 3 at minimum. I saw a tweet earlier saying, Dave Montgomery is 2024 Joe Mixon. And it's like none of you even care. And I 1000% agree. I said those exact words to my coworkers the other day. They traded a 5th, a 7th, and an offensive lineman for this dude. You don't do that for a running back that you're going to give half the touches to or keep in a 50% timeshare. And, I keep hearing the rebuttal of, oh, well, how many career touches does he have? Oh, he's going to be 28 years old. Bah, 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 bah. I don't care. I don't care. Last year, he had 100 carries last year. What did he have? Something super, 158 carries last year. The least of his career and second most efficient. And he caught 24 balls. I feel like people underestimate that he can catch passes. This is just, he's an absolute screaming value to me, in my opinion. Texans have an improved offensive line from last year, new offensive coordinator. Hopefully CJ Stroud can bounce back and get back on track development-wise, but the offense as a whole seems to be taking a step forward. I think Dave Montgomery could absolutely smash this year. And I'd be willing to put him, at the top of this tier or, into tier 3. God dang, I'd probably have him close to Josh Jacobs. But, you can get him 2-3 rounds later. Sign me up all day. So I'm very, very, very in on David Montgomery this year. I really think he could smash. So yeah. Next, Dravion Henderson. Honestly, I'm out. I have not seen Dravion go this late. Maybe he's ranked there, but I constantly see him being picked above all of these guys, and that makes zero sense to me. Obviously, the Patriots have a affinity or a liking for Ramondre Stevenson, and I'm just not interested in that. Obviously, excuse me, I need a drink of water. My throat it feels like I've got sandpaper. Thank you. Okay. So, obviously, it's easy to look like an idiot for being out on Dravion if Ramondre gets hurt or something like that. But, I don't want to draft a team's RB2 in hopes that the starting running back gets hurt, especially when I'm having to draft the guy in the 5th or 6th round. That's huge draft capital when you could be drafting someone that could be helping your team on a week-to-week basis without the guy in front of him getting hurt. So, and for whatever reason, he's still struggling in pass pro, and I think that's a bigger thing that's going to keep him off the field more than people realize. And, I'm good. I don't want to sign up for that. Next, Bajal Tootin. Man. So, I'm not sure. The offseason hype on him has been insane. I don't know what to think about it. Do I think he's talented? Sure. Do I trust a single word that comes out of Liam Cohen's mouth? Absolutely fucking not. I can't stand Liam Cohen, but that's another story for a different day. He was really inefficient last year. He had almost no explosive plays. I don't know what they're going to do with Chris Rodriguez. Like, is his fat ass going to be the goal line back? I don't know. Maybe. Probably. Do I have Tootin ranked here similarly based off talent and off-season news? Sure. Will I be actively taking him in the 5th or 6th round? Hell no. But if you really want him, that's probably where you're gonna have to get him. So, it is what it is. Up next, Jadarian Price. Rookie has looked really good in training camp. Kinda has Still no update on when he might come back. I'm not put off by George Halani. Give me a break. I'm interested in Price at his cost, especially if I, started wide receiver heavy and I'm having to double dip on running back in like the 5th, 6th, 7th round, I don't hate making that pick. He's a big dude, and he's fast, and he can catch the ball. So I think there's an opportunity for success there, especially with the new Seahawks OC being a Shanahan guy. They want to run the ball, and I think it could be a bell cow right off the bat. If not, rookie running backs tend to heat up over the second half of the season. So, maybe it starts off slow, or doesn't get the full workload. But come end of the season, he could be getting 20 touches a game, 25 touches a game. Who knows? I think he's worth the gamble. I don't hate the pick. I'm not gonna tell you sell out for him, but if you need it back, there are worse directions you could go. Next, Jaylen Warren. I think he's talent. I think he's a talented back. He's shifty. He catches pretty much everything thrown his way. The problem is, anytime this guy seems to be given a golden opportunity to take over the backfield or to succeed, he gets hurt and squanders it. On top of that, the Steelers bringing in Rico Dowdle, and Rico having history with Mike McCarthy in Dallas, 3 years ago now? 2 years ago now. I think Rico could be in line for a bigger workload, but at this cost, I'm good passing on Jaylen Warren. And let me preface this also. I think where we're at here in the rankings so far, I think this just goes to show that this year it's going to have to be a draft running backs early and often, or else you'll be stuck with this heaping, steaming pile of dog shit to choose from as your RB2 or 3, and that's not ideal at all. So, yeah, Jaylen Warren, ugly timeshare, a lot of uncertainty. Unless Rico gets hurt, I don't think he's just gonna be the guy. So yeah, he's a fine pick if you have to. But I don't think any of these guys are oh yes, go get him, go grab him. So yeah, let's just keep that in mind moving forward. I might have to stop at 30 here, just because we're coming up on an hour recording, and I don't want this to be too long for you guys. Or I could just break it up into pieces. We'll see. Anyways, up next, Tony Pollard. I'm good. Full fade. Tajay Spears is there, who, isn't a crazy running back or anything, but they brought in Nick Singleton, who was really good at Penn State, is a talented running back. Tony Pollard's old, and I think they're going to start moving in the direction of getting younger guys on the field. So, that being said, use your pick in this range on something else, someone else, on a bad offense at that. Stevenson. Again, I wouldn't pick him. I would not draft him unless I absolutely needed to. This guy is going to sour this pick much more than people understand or think. He's the guy in Pass Pro. He's the between the tackles runner. I'm sorry to say, but when he's healthy, he is the goal line back. He's the fat ass that they're just going to plunge right into the middle. Again, you're looking at a guy that's going to be in a 60-40, 50-50 timeshare, and it's, you have to decide, is that worth it? His ceiling is not that high. And, in this range, you're kind of looking for high ceiling, dart throw running backs. And his ceiling is just not that great. Is what it is. So. Up next, Joe Bobbard. Another full fade. If this guy's healthy, Jonathan Brooks, this guy could completely lose his spot or just be relegated to a season-long nasty time split. Also, I just don't think he's that good. He's just not that great a running back. Very one-dimensional, very limited. It's just on an offense that isn't that great. Also, full fade. I'm good. Next, Rico Dowdle. At cost, give me him over Jalen Warren. He's got familiarity with Mike McCarthy. I think Mike McCarthy really likes him. Rico is a tougher runner than Jalen, I'll say, and he can catch the ball just as well, if not better than Jalen Warren. He'll probably be the goal line back. So I like him over Warren at cost. I think he's actually a decent pick. I think he is. J.K. Dobbins. Again, full fade. I'm good. This guy could not stay healthy if his life depended on it. And then not to mention the backs behind him. I swear, Denver just keeps drafting running backs like they're grown on trees, which I guess they are. But R.J. Harvey, Jonah Coleman, they're going to be involved. It's not going to be the J.K. Dobbins show. I hate to say it. Zero involvement in the pass game. Full fade. I'm good. Want nothing to do with it. R.J. Harvey, again, full fade. He can't run between the tackles. He is a Darren Sproles kind of running back. I'm good. At cost, no thank you. Blake Corum. Good pick. Good pick. If you need like a RB5, very good pick. If Kyron goes down, workhorse, solid. Sign me up. Common guy. Same as Corum. Good pick at cost. I like it. Swift goes down. Manungai's just going to step into a massive role on one of the best offenses in the league. One of the probably the highest ascending offense currently in the league right now. But yeah, these two guys, really similar, huge, massive workloads. If the guys in front of them go down, and they do have some standalone value as well. 36, Jonathan Brooks. If he stays healthy, he can be really, really good. I'm not a fan of how rich of a draft cost he's becoming. But, say you only have 2 or 3 running backs that you drafted to this point, and you need to reach on a dart throw guy. upside. Roll the dice. He could pay off. But, I mean, goodness gracious, 2 ACL tears his first 2 years in the league. It's a hard sell. It's a hard sell. But, I mean, if you're drafting him in the 9th, 8th, 9th, I wouldn't draft him in the 8th. Maybe at the end. Maybe like 8, 9 turn. 10th round. I think he's worth it. So, go for it. Okay, these last 4 I'll touch on just real quick. Get this video wrapped up. Rashad White, JCM. I think JCM is going to be the running back to have in Washington. Rashad White is a terrible runner. He's fine, and he's good in pass pro, whatever, he can catch passes, but he's so inefficient, and he's not a good run. He can't run the football very well. JCM, explosive, fast, and it has shown that he can catch the ball in camp this year. So I'm excited to see what he does this season with their new OC. And for David Blau, thank you, that's his name. Hopefully David Blau gives this dude a ton of carries. I love Bill. I think he's extremely talented. His college tape, I've never seen guys do some of the moves he was making in college. I'm a big believer in him. I just hope they give him the ball and let him eat. Okay, so let me jump back some. Kenny Gainwell. I think he does have standalone value, especially if you're like in a full PPR league. If Bucky goes down, he's gonna smash. Really good pick at cost. I would make that pick 9 times out of 10 if I need to. Jordan Mason, blah, dust. I want really nothing to do with either of these Minnesota guys. Yeah, just not great. Jordan Mason, he's going to be a nothing burger the receiving game. Aaron Jones, he'll catch some balls, but he can't run for jack. He's pretty cooked. Yeah. If there's anybody else like in this range that you guys want my opinions or thoughts on, just leave a comment down below and I will respond to you in the comments. Most of these guys are just dart throw, handcuff guys who, I think we all kind of know what they're capable of if asked to step in a starting role. But yeah, if you guys have any questions on any of them, just leave a comment and I'll reply to those. But yeah, I'll try and have a wide receiver video in this same kind of style, recorded and up soon. But yeah, let me know y'all's thoughts on my rankings and how I feel about these guys that we went over. Let me know in the comments down below. And I will see you guys in the next one. Later.